God is irrelevant. I say this because the God construct, the God that people have within their minds, the idea of God, the belief that there's a God that exists, is focused not on here, but what on happens after we die, so in the hereafter. Therefore, living a life according to an idea, according to a belief, according to an opinion, because it's an opinion, because it hasn't been tested. Living life according to this is in fact committing a suicide, because you're not living here, because you're not living for what is here, you're not living as what is here. You are living for and as the idea, the belief that you have about what will come after. And if you are honest with yourself, you'll see that the whole God construct has been based on fear. Regardless of the religion, it is all based on fear. There is judgment. There's a judgment day, and if you do not behave well here on earth, your life is going to be miserable in the hereafter. So it's a form of control. God creates this earth, God creates us. He puts us here, and then he says, you better behave well, otherwise I'm going to burn you in hell. And then we have moralities and dogmas and ideologies written in the book, and we live our lives according to it. In years to come, eventually, religion will be seen as a fairy tale story. Religion will be, in a sense, laughed at due to its ridiculousness, due to the lack of common sense in it. And I say this because religion has no place in today's society, if you're honest with yourself, and surely will have no place in societies of the future. That has been the tendency, that has been what has been taking place if we look at history. Thousands of years ago, the human was wandering around, hunting, gathering food, not really knowing or being able to explain the things in this world. And then the spirits were created, because death, it seems, according to anthropology, death fascinated us in a sense, because there we had a being that was alive, or a body that was alive, that was moving, that was communicating, that was expressive, and now it's not moving, it's dead, it's cold, and you wonder what happened. So we make up stories about what happened, because we don't really understand it, and we call it spirits. And we see examples of this in every tribe, the Indian stories, the Aztecs, the Mayas, the Amazon. You see, the Indians, they have their own, the Native Americans, should I say, they have their own stories of the spirits that must be praised upon and respected, and this and that, and they have their rituals. And then this developed into polytheism, where there are many gods, which we utilize to explain things that take place on earth, such as storms, such as earthquakes, the ocean. So there's the god of the ocean, there's the god of the sky, there's the god in the volcano, there's the god in everything. And there were good and bad gods. And then eventually all these gods became obsolete, and then the new fashion at the time became just one God, and we shall pray to one God only, which is the birth of monotheism. And we've been stuck with this for 2,000, maybe more years. And as we had our observational skills, let's say, enhanced through instruments and language and mathematics, and even later on, not so long ago, let's say, the scientific method, where there's a theory and then you test the theory and you see if it's right or wrong. We started to understand how this world functions much better, and within it, the God equation, the whole construct, the whole idea that God is real and that He created us started to be questioned, because it became obvious that there is no need for an invisible being that is somewhere where nobody actually knows, where nobody knows anything about, in fact, besides what was told, what was transmitted by a very few number of individuals, and the books that were written from their accounts of their visions, of their, should I say, maybe even hallucinations. As far as we don't know anything about it. Not about Muhammad, not about Jesus, not about Buddha. All that we know is written, so even if they were real, even if they existed, we can't really test anything that they experienced, because they're dead, and that is the fact. They are dead. Jesus is dead, Buddha is dead, Lao Tzu is dead. Every great master, whatever that means, every great being that left a message in this world of, let's say, peace, is dead. All of them were bound by this physicality. All of them needed food, all of them needed air, all of them needed water. All of them lived on this earth, and they died on this earth, and their bodies went back to the earth. And who knows, me and you, we most likely have atoms that were once in their bodies. So the God construct, the God idea, the God ideology is irrelevant, because we are here. We are not in the hereafter. We must consider what is here. We must consider what is real here. And therefore, if we look at it in common sense, if we look at what is actually real, what is actually here, is that everybody's physical, everybody has certain needs, basic stuff to live. And the books, the religions, they never left us with any guidelines to actually make sure everybody gets this. Quite the opposite, at least the Bible, because we can very clearly see in the first pages of the Bible that there are some that will have some benefits and some that will be punished, apparently by God, which is the monetary system in itself, where some have a lot and some don't really have and die because of it. Therefore, God is irrelevant, and we must find a way to establish a system that takes care of life, of the life on earth, that life that is here. And I mean, if we actually do this, if we actually treat each other like we would like to be treated, if we do unto others what we would like them to do unto us, I suppose there will be no need to worry about God punishing us, because we have given each other as the children of God, let's say, what each other needs. And therefore, why would God punish you? Why would God send you to hell if you were part of the system where you freely give to others what you know everybody needs? I mean, you're taking care of yourself, you're being a good person, because you're not harming them, because you're receiving and you're giving equally what you know you need, what you know you require to exist in this physicality. So God is rather relevant. So let us focus on what is here. Let us focus on this physicality. Let us focus on what must be done not on what must be prayed or thought about, on what must be done, physically done, to make sure that everybody gets what everybody requires. Thanks.